A new YouGov poll reveals that just over half of Brits hold a positive opinion of the monarchy as an institution.
Well, later on today, the anti-monarchist group Republic are holding a rally in Trafalgar Square protesting against the monarchy, which they believe is outdated.
So this morning we're asking, does the monarchy have a place in the future of Britain and can it survive?
Well, we'll talk, should we, to royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams and the CEO of Republic, Graham Smith, who's here in the studio. Really good to see you both this morning. Graham, we've just had an incredible week with the royals and all the stuff, particularly on Monday for VE80. Why shouldn't that be part of our culture that we celebrate?
Well, I mean, some people do celebrate it and will celebrate it, but the vast majority of people are not interested in the monarchy. And we're seeing even this poll that's out today, even people like William and Kate, which you'll say, you know, they're more popular than others. The tracking of the polling numbers is showing a decline over time, and that's been mapped across the whole of the monarchy. It's dropping, falling support over the last 10 years. The social survey, one of the biggest studies on this issue, has shown declining support over the last 10 years. And there are some polls that would put it down around 50%, some a little bit higher than that. But across all the polling, there's a steady trend of declining support and enthusiasm for it. I mean, there's only 9% excited by the coronation just a couple of weeks prior to the event. And support for abolition has jumped to about a third of the country now.
I don't think you can argue that that's the vast majority then, can you?
Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private Internet Access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cyber criminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private Internet Access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GB News discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GB News to start protecting yourself digitally today.
No, the vast majority are not interested, not excited, and then separate from that, you've got a third of the country who are now saying that they want to get rid of it, who think negatively about it, and then we have a substantial minority who quite like it and want it. But a lot of those people that don't care about it are still happy to maintain the status quo, and that's where our campaign comes in to say to those people, actually, there is a serious problem here because this is an institution which is accused of various scandals, corruption, abuse of privilege and power and public money, and there is a better alternative on offer.
All right, Richard, how do you argue with those sort of figures?
Well, firstly, I'd say not a single major political party supports a republic. Graham knows that very well. I mean, the facts simply are, firstly, the role of the monarch above party politics and also a symbol of national unity. We saw it superbly this week. There always was going to be a change, I think, when Queen Elizabeth died. And of course, you've had a change at a period unbelievable voter volatility. We've seen that. But the facts are that any political party, a major political party, would give their eye teeth for the figures in the poll that the monarchy still has. And this is a period, I'd point out, where you've had an extraordinary use of soft power. I mean, the way Prime Minister Keir Starmer was showing the invitation from King Charles to Donald Trump, whatever one might think of him, it's not the point. The point is that the soft power element here is tremendous, and this builds on Queen Elizabeth's visit to Ireland in 2011, and then the President's visit here in 2014. Sinn Féin altered their stance. The monarchy has enormous relevance, and so far as putting on a pageant is concerned, no other country can match it regarding the coronation. 203 countries represented. So what you're seeing is something that's been going for Mark Cromwell for over 1,000 years. There's no doubt that it's part and parcel of the fabric of Britain. The monarchy will change just as views on it in different generations. For example, the problems with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, there's no doubt that that has affected younger voters. I think that's been clear for some time. But there's also no doubt that if you take charitable activities, the monarchy has an absolutely unique profile. We see this with William and the
It makes no difference to charity at all. I mean, this is the thing. There's so much stuff said about the monarchy which isn't true, and there's been a very detailed study on their impact on charity by an independent authority, which said the impact is close to zero. And part of the problem with them, and part of the problem with William, who is currently in line to be the next monarch, is he's incredibly lazy. He doesn't do anything. I mean, last month he did about 4 days.
Charitable input. Look at the Prince's Trust, now the King's Trust. That helped over a million.
It's an independent charity that will function with or without the royals, and the impact of them on charity. I mean, William did about 4 days of work last month. 4 days in total. And when I say work, I mean turning up and waving at people, most of which is done in or near their houses. They really do very little. And they cost us £500 million a year. And for a whole family, which we do not need, including people that most people would never have heard of, like the Duke and Duchess of Kent, the Prince and Princess of Kent, the Duke of Gloucester, they're all included in this £500 million cost.
If you're looking seriously at charitable input, if you look at the way King Charles, since 1970, he was the first figure to internationally push the environment.
Well, that's not true.
It is a proven fact. And also...
the environmental cause has been pushed for decades by all sorts of people, and Charles's views on the environment have been questionable at best many times. And he has a huge carbon footprint. He is a hypocrite. And he is distracting from the very serious issue of the wealthiest people having the largest carbon footprint.
The interest online and also from the media on everything the royals do, you're trying to pretend it doesn't exist, but it does.
No, there's interest in the Kardashians and David Beckham as well, but it doesn't mean that we give them £500 million and put them on a throne.
But in terms of money,
culture is one thing.
Just in terms of money, sorry to interrupt, in terms of money, the sovereign grant is going to increase next year, and that is because, indisputably, there has been a rise in Crown Estate profits. So how do you explain a rise in Crown Estate profits if, as you say, Graham, there's a decrease in interest in the royal family? How do they balance?
Well, the Crown Estate profits is land values. So the Crown Estate profits goes up partly, a large part of it is to do with wind farms in the sea, because the Crown Estate owns a large amount of our seabed, so their profits are going up. Now, the Crown Estate belongs to the state. It's got nothing to do with the royals, doesn't belong to Charles, and it doesn't fund the monarchy. What happens is that all of that money goes to the government, but for some reason, George Osborne in 2011 decided to peg the funding for the monarchy to their profits. And so this year, just last month, the £500 million cost went up by another £45 million because of this increased profit from the Crown Estate. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. We can have all that profit and slash the budget down to £10 million and then elect our head of state.
All right, last word, Richard.
What you've got is also a pivotal 369 million over 10 years refurbishment of Buckingham Palace. And one thing you're not attending to is the profile of the royal family. Internationally, it is quite extraordinary. It's not just
people like Prince Andrew, yes, a wonderful profile and advert for our country.
But you can't quantify everything with reference to just simple figures when you are looking at a profile that no other organisation.
You say that because you have no figures on your side, Richard.
All right, look, there we need to leave it. Fascinating debate. Richard, Graham, thank you both very much indeed. I'm sure you'll have a view. Do let us know what it is. gbnews.com/yoursay.